Welcome to Staring at the Lights with Rob, Tom and Ethan.
Hello.
We're going to kick straight off with this week's Raw, where they had a beat the clock match.
Big week this week.
Have they ever had a beat the clock match before?
Yeah, they've had them before.
I don't ever remember them.
There's been a lot of beat the clock
There's been a
matches.
few of them.
Like when three people have to face off against other three people. I've literally never heard of that. I'm watching wrestling in a while.
I've seen it a few times, but what's flawed about it is you're going up against three individual people.
And they're all different skill levels.
Exactly. So surely the best person would be you beat the same opponent maybe later on when they've got their breath back.
Yeah.
In a better time than that other person did.
If only they had triplets for this cause.
Yeah.
Three perfectly balanced genetically
altered human beings.
Yeah.
That
would make a lot of sense.
If Vince had triplet wrestlers, he'd be in fucking heaven, wouldn't he?
So they had Ronda came out first, faced Sarah Logan, beat her in 1 minute 25.
I mean, it's Sarah Logan. Has she won on Raw yet at all, ever?
I don't even think Riot Squad have. I think they're just jobbers, aren't they, at the minute?
Yeah, they normally do.
Well, I mean, whoever was getting Ruby Riot out of that was getting the shaft, really, because she's the one who's had. I mean, she had not a competitive match with Ronda, but she had a decent match with Ronda on one Raw. Where she got jobbed out, but she's of a higher caliber.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, the first match was Ronda versus Sarah Logan. She beat her in 1 minute 25, and then Charlotte Flair took on Ruby Riot and didn't beat her in the time, which was then
bit weird.
Yeah. So they kind of both. Becky and Charlotte have to kind of stand at the side of the ring while Ronda's in, and then Ronda has her match. Then she goes and stands on the ramp. Yeah, she goes and stands on the ramp. And then Charlotte comes in and doesn't beat the time. And then what's quite good, because then Becky came in, Charlotte give her a big boot to the face. And what were quite funny is Liv Morgan's in going, come on, start the clock, clapping and shouting off, come on, start then. But then Becky beat it with
shenanigans in it.
3 or 4 seconds to go.
I just want to say in all of this, I'm fully behind Charlotte. She's the one I want to win at WrestleMania. I don't like the other two anymore. I've gone off them. I like Charlotte. She's just straight to the point.
I want to end a triple
I want to hear a bastardised version of Ric Flair's theme song to take Mania off the air.
Yeah.
It feels like Rick's got one last win over the entire company. See her old man dancing and crying and bleeding.
Just dancing around the ring.
It'll be the best thing ever.
It would be.
It has to happen.
It's got to happen.
It's weird at the minute because
imagine if it does after all this time. Becky doesn't win.
Greasy Becky White Knight
crying
with
the Ronda Charlotte and Becky thing, and then now with Kurt Angle having his farewell tour and he had Samoa Joe on Raw. It's not even what's the point in having any kind of brand split?
Well, they're in.
It's all over the place.
It's all over.
It is the fever dream of a madman.
Yeah,
it's just getting to that point.
Essentially,
it's a nightmare.
Yeah,
a labyrinth of stories with just no end, doors to nowhere.
So we've got that kind of set up now. Then Angle beat Samoa Joe with a quick roll up. Well,
I like the head
match, and then had a match
throwback
with him.
To old TNA stuff, wasn't it?
I think that's why, because Angle's he handpicked his opponents for this sort of.
It's lovely that
for this match against Samoa Joe, which would have been a good TNA throwback.
Yeah, someone cares about continuity and story.
Yeah. And then the night after, they had the kind of Angle had a match against AJ Styles, which he beat him then as well.
Yeah,
and then they had Did he not beat him? Did AJ beat him?
No. It was a DQ.
Oh, of course.
Oh, yeah, Randy came in, didn't he? Randall
Keith Orton.
Randall.
RKO'd him.
How have they not fired him? Kayfabe wise.
Just get rid of him.
He just does what he wants, doesn't he? He's a problem.
Yeah, loose wire,
it's how many t-shirts are you selling? Why are we keeping you on?
Why are you still here? Yeah. That's what I'd be saying.
Malcontent. Just the malcontent. Get rid of him.
It was a bit lost though, because that match was all with the whole New Day gauntlet match fighting for Kofi. It was all a bit lost within it all, and then the original plan for the women's match was supposed to be a 4-way, so they could determine the number one contender going into WrestleMania for Asuka's match, and then Charlotte came out and just decided, I'm having a title match against Asuka.
Yeah, that was a bit weird.
I mean, they could have really kind of dug deep and gone, how can we move these 4 women to side and get Charlotte into that match? Because Becky pointed out on Twitter, it's like she did less to earn that title shot than she did to earn the WrestleMania one.
Yeah,
and it's like, yeah, I get it, because I mean, it makes sense for the WrestleMania one because Becky was suspended, put Charlotte in there, but it's just like Charlotte just walks out and goes, I'll have this match. Unless you're saying it's a leverage thing, because she's in the main event and she can have what she wants.
I don't know. It's like I said the other week when I heard about like Royal Rumble, and if you're a jobber, you just stood there and see somebody injured, you just be like, if I were a jobber, I'd be like, well, fuck it, then I'm gonna walk out and be like, I want a title match. What do you do about it?
Camera guy, just put it down.
Yeah.
Just get in there.
Come on, you jump in.
Well, apparently that decision was made like that afternoon of SmackDown. So the original plan for that Fatal 4-Way was going ahead until the day of yesterday, when they were Vince decided, I'm going to have this match, and obviously the outcome is that Charlotte beats Asuka and takes the title from her, because he doesn't think that any of the other four would have had a worthy enough match at WrestleMania, because the crowd aren't behind any of the other four.
There was just popped, loads.
The WWE YouTube just uploaded the triple threat match, Mysterio, Angle and Orton, for the World Heavyweight title.
It was mysteriously then.
Mysteriously.
This video.
It uploaded that, and one of the comments, I was scrolling through the comments while I was watching that match.
Brilliant.
Deep in my depression. And one of them was like, I wish this match had 10 minutes longer, but they had that stupid Tori Wilson lingerie pillow fight. And it's like, why... What are we looking at here? Why? It's one of those things that you think you're better not putting something on the show when it's already 6 hours long, and you don't need another half an hour to take a pointless match. So I actually really like that, because there's nothing to do with Asuka. Like, what could you do with it?
Now she's not going to be having a match. I mean, she'll probably be in another Battle Royal.
Andre the Giant Battle Royal.
Whatever
win
it's called.
Wouldn't that be wicked if she won it? Just kick Braun Strowman out of the ring.
They'll have a female
Why
one.
not?
But without that match on, there's still 16 matches now.
Maybe he comes in drunk. Maybe we'll go down that storyline.
What, Braun just turns up drunk?
Substance abuse issues.
To his Royal Rumble match.
But even without Asuka having a match at Mania, there's still 16 matches now on there, with probably more to announce.
16 matches too much on that fucking card.
We have a podcast, and that's too much.
It's too much for us.
It's too much to talk about. It's going to be like a two-parter.
Yeah, they should write into it, be like, listen, do you know how much we've got to fucking talk about this? Cut it down a bit.
Yeah, we'll just do 2 parts over 2 weeks.
2 weeks. There were 2 parts of it. 4 parts over 4 weeks.
Like the Olympics.
50-minute interludes. Yeah.
Different gimmick matches on different days.
Yeah.
And now the men's Hell in a Cell.
I didn't understand the Asuka loss at first. I thought it was really, really weird. But I reckon the reason they've done it is they're going to unify the titles in the main event.
Yeah.
They're going to make it one women's title, and then I think they'll also do the same for the Universal title and the WWE title.
Well, there's 5
they're going to get rid of the brand split.
I mean, you could call it the brand
split.
The
brand split is also the brand split. To be fair,
there's 5 sort of theories going on at the minute. One of them is because they're going to move Asuka to Raw after Mania, maybe the Monday night afterwards, or with that shake-up thing they're doing. But that doesn't really make any sense to take the title off of then. You could have done
the rights for Beatles song. What's it called? Is it just called Shake It?
Which one?
Twist and Shout.
Twist and Shout. I think they get the rights for that song and just play it over the Shake It.
I mean, they did it with Great Balls of Fire, didn't they?
Did they have Great Balls of Fire?
Yeah, I think they did. Yeah.
Amazing.
The one point I was going to make though is, like, if you look at it, there's like a 2/3 chance that somebody from SmackDown is going to be leaving with the Raw Women's title in the main event before this. So you think, like,
I mean, weird, isn't it?
You've got 2 people in the main event who are feuding for the Raw title who are on SmackDown, but there's no explanation as to why they're allowed on Raw. I mean, Becky, I get, because she won the Royal Rumble and you get to choose, apparently, which doesn't make sense. What's the point in a brand split anyway? And then you've got Charlotte, who just went, just stick her in there.
I've always liked that idea of doing that for like a Money in a Bank one, though. Like, just go and turn up on another brand. Like when Carmella had the Money in the Bank, I thought it'd be great if she just turned up on Raw and went, I'm going after yours.
Instead of a title shot, they should just have like just a brand split thing. Like, so if you win like this opportunity, you can just swap brands as and when you like throughout the year or whatever. Like gives you like a free pass.
Well, didn't think you do that? Like Alexa Bliss do that. She like won both titles about 5,000 times over.
Yeah.
Just get like something flip flopping between brands.
They were hot on her, weren't they? Then, and they were happy. They just wanted her to have the other one because she's just a strong champion for.
I don't think Rumble ever knows. I'll be right back, fellas.
It's like Joe Rogan podcast now. It's literally like people just leaving. We've elevated.
Back soon.
We've gone up a level. Yeah.
The other theory was because they didn't have a match that they liked for Asuka at WrestleMania, which makes sense because I don't think anybody would be invested in another Mandy Rose or Sonya Deville. Maybe if it was a triple threat one and you could tease the breakup between.
I like Sonya Deville. They've not put enough into her. Like when she was at Elimination Chamber, her to me shone out of everyone.
Yeah.
Like she's really physical, but the problem is they can't pull the trigger on her because she's got an MMA gimmick, and they've got the 4 horsewomen and Ronda. They can't have everyone with an MMA gimmick.
Yeah.
It's like having. it's like having someone like who am I going to say? Someone like the Sandman, and then you've got Mick Foley, both hardcore legends.
Yeah.
And it's like, but you don't want to have two on one show because it kind of like dilutes it.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think with Sonya, they're kind of like, we're not giving you the kind of support you need because we've already got the MMA ones.
Well, that's the thing. Like Ronda coming in and having. Even blowing his nose out there. Like Ronda coming in and being a legitimate MMA fighter is probably blowing his hooter.
May as well be doing it right here. Yeah.
I don't think it's the right time for her at the minute anyway. Maybe if Ronda does leave and works his part-time schedule, she might fill that little gap maybe.
I mean, it says that Vince cares a lot about the actual title because he could have just kept it off the card, but because he obviously cares about the title, he wants to keep it on the card.
Yeah,
in some
I suppose
capacity.
so. I suppose that's a good thing. I mean, I was expecting to put it on the kickoff show, to be honest, and it be on there. Well, the other theory is because Dewey wanted to make the WrestleMania event feel even bigger because there's two champions on there.
The winner of this will be there. Like, I mean, and they go like the winner of this will be the top draw or whatever. And everyone's been really hot on Becky Lynch, but I'm just like, what is she, I mean, other than that Royal Rumble that she wasn't even in, what's she won? I've not seen that. This on Raw, when she got that pinfall, is the first time in ages I recall her ever winning anything. She's just not winning. She's just not wrestling.
No, well, she won that match at Fastlane by DQ.
Hello.
He's back. I mean, I think we could hear you. Not the entire thing.
Could you?
Yeah.
I was thinking I should go outside, but then I thought Between Two Doors should be good enough.
Between Two Doors.
That's the new podcast, that Between Two Doors. Just doing an
sounds like something on BBC Two like the other day.
In a general somewhere.
Between two doors, between two dudes.
That'd be much better. I mean, I am technically between two dudes right now. But.
The other theory is because they're planning on unifying the women's titles because they think that the singles division is so thin.
Yeah.
That because they're hot on this tag team thing, aren't they?
Yeah.
So the other theory
is they love a tag team.
That they're so thin on the ground for single stars that there's no point in having two titles. You might as well just have one.
I mean, they're not exactly like chomping at the bit with tag team stars either. Like, I think like they've gone into a. It's kind of like when you get like a professional sports team and they are fundamentally broken, and instead of rebuilding them from the core up, they just go, we'll just bring a couple of superstars in and then just have them make it. It's like they've brought in Ronda, they've obviously boosted Charlotte, who's Ric Flair's daughter, who's got all this kind of prestige, and they've capitalised on Becky becoming a star because she got her nose broken in, and they've kind of a couple of little things have gone well for him. They broke it in, she just
like
bashed it down. But the rest of them, they haven't put enough time into really elevating them like they do with building a good. I mean, they don't do it with the men so much anymore.
That's just
WWE in general, but that's where the fundamental flaw is because they're like, oh, this women's revolution was so successful. How come we've got no one who can fight for the other title? It's like because it's just smoke and mirrors. You've got a couple of real famous people you brought in.
You're only smoke and mirrors.
Whoa.
Sorry.
Great theme song.
Great theme song.
But
no, I agree. But it's like at that point, you've already blown your load on that entire scene. So like, what have you got left?
That's the point.
Do you have left?
If Ronda goes away and
which
has a kid like she wants
to,
I mean, Charlotte, like to me, this is why I wanted to win because she's been like the most consistent
through thick and thin.
Like
she's been
top level talent out of anybody in the company. Did
she beat Becky at Mania?
Yeah, she beat Sasha and Becky at
Sasha was a triple threat, wasn't it?
Yeah. She to me, Charlotte is the MVP of the entire WWE.
Is that when Ric Flair did a bump?
Yeah, because Becky protected him, rolled through and protected him.
Love that.
But I can't say enough about Charlotte because to me, like every card I've watched over the last few years, I've gone, Charlotte's had the best match.
You know,
Charlotte's had the best match.
I always say it with Candice LeRae, she is also one that I'd love to see intergender. Charlotte Flair would be so good intergender.
Charlotte would.
I think she's taller than me. I think
she's 5'10", so
not taller than me then.
She's like her old man, isn't she?
Looks massive though. When I see her like on TV,
the others are so small. I think
that's probably why. To be fair, but I feel like I see her and I'm like, you could genuinely beat the piss out of half the men on the roster. Yeah. Like you wouldn't even bat an eyelid at doing it.
I think what they're probably going to build to, which is the last sort of theory, is that picture went around that someone made a while ago where Becky's holding the Raw title, Charlotte's got the SmackDown one, and then Sasha and Bayley have got the tag team one, and it'll be like that takeover from a few years ago where they're all in the ring together. Yeah, it's just going to be that, but on a bigger stage at Mania.
They've not officially announced whether it's a title unification match yet, so
no,
we don't
they haven't,
know.
No.
It must be. I mean, it's 99% assurity it's going to be.
It's changed from like Raw women's title to just main event now. So
it wouldn't make
I
sense.
think it just be whoever wins gets that title. But then what's
both.
the point if for some reason then it's not going to happen? But what if Ronda pins Charlotte? Then she has unified the titles.
What I reckon would happen is, I mean, no matter who wins it, they're going to hold both. They'll give them both belts, and I think what they'll do is I'm almost certain Becky Lynch is going to win. I'm 99% certain she's going to win.
Oh yeah.
What I think with the whole man gimmick, I think if you're going to, I don't like it. I don't like
man gimmick.
The man.
I am a man.
The
big Irish man.
The big Irish man. I think what they'll do, I want them to unify them, but I don't think they will. What I think they'll do is because she's the top dog and she's the man and she's all this and she's all that, I think she'll defend both titles on both shows.
Do you think?
Really?
Do you think?
So like it'll be like, I think what'll happen is she'll be like, well, main event of one, well not main event, but like one pay-per-view, she'll defend the SmackDown title against a SmackDown roster person.
Yeah,
and then the next
maybe.
pay-per-view she'll defend the Raw title against a Raw
That's a
roster
good.
person.
That's a good shout. I mean, I was thinking they could have it where, like a McGregor situation, they strip her of one or threaten to strip her of one, or she might get to a point where they go down that route of she's such a big superstar and she just refuses to defend things, and then she ends up getting it stripped from her.
I mean, fingers crossed she doesn't go down the rape allegation route like McGregor did. But
I mean,
other than that,
we
I
got
think
there.
it
We got there, didn't we?
should be
Faster than I
alright.
thought, but we got there.
Faster than I thought.
But I mean, they could go down that route of saying like you can't hold both at once. You can only belong to one brand.
Yeah.
And they'll probably do that WWE thing of where they'll make her put one down, and then it'll be worthless and meaningless. And then Asuka will probably just win it back again. She'll probably just be like, "I'll take the red one because I'm a fire. I'm lit like fire." Do a little like whatever little hand gesture she does. Lay it down, and then Asuka will just win it. She's that little rock and roll little.
Yeah.
She used to, didn't she? I don't know whether she still does it.
Did you see the?
Oh, she did do that. Didn't she? She
horns,
come out.
yeah.
She like do the whole. Yeah.
Did
Okay.
you see
She's
the
had some bad
screen grabs
gimmicks.
of them on? They were because they were on like an ESPN show this morning or yesterday morning, like all sat together on like a panel.
They did
Yeah, I
Charlotte
don't know why they
dirty
do
there.
that.
Yeah.
Why would you do that if they all hate each other that much? Why would you sit them next to
Have
each
them
other?
all together.
Did you see the little?
Did you see the little
taglines?
taglines?
Yeah.
Brilliant. Ronda Rousey, women's UFC Hall of Famer. Becky Lynch, Royal Rumble winner. Charlotte Flair, Ric Flair's daughter.
Woo! Strutting and
Brilliant.
cutting,
Yeah.
mate.
I mean, I'd have that though. If I were Ric Flair's son, I'd be like, I want my tagline as Ric Flair's son because it's Ric
isn't
fucking
Ric
Flair.
Flair's son dead?
One of them is.
Yeah, that's true.
There's David and there's David Flair.
I mean, I'm
Remember
not saying
David
that-
Flair's Titantron where it's just pictures of him
pictures
and then
of him.
pictures of Ric Flair
Yeah.
and it just says David Flair.
yeah,
David Flair.
David Flair. I mean, I'm not saying I'd rather be dead, but I'm saying if I was Ric Flair's son that was alive.
Depends on the day, doesn't it?
Yeah, true. I feel like I'd be like that's just a big achievement to be Ric Flair's son. Like, imagine being able to have that as your tagline.
Mate.
The gauntlet
I've
match
never
was
worked
quite
out
interesting with the New Day fighting for Kofi. I liked
Yeah.
the Uso
Really
thing. I thought was quite cool. How they
Well,
It
came
went
out and just like
We respect you,
We
we're just
respect
walking
you.
out.
We forfeit.
When
Because you were saying now you wish.
I wish
would have
Randy had done it, but
for Kofi
I think
last
like
week.
the problem you've got
Yeah.
is like Randy being a heel. It just seems like
Stupid.
something Randy can still do dumb shit like that. I can
Yeah.
imagine walking in, rolling on his back, and then just being like, "I don't give a shit, just cover me, I'm out of here," and then just walk out. You know, just to be a bit of an anarchist, just to kind of be like,
Yeah.
I don't
I
care.
don't really give a shit.
I
yeah.
really don't care. Just pin me. I'm not getting anything out of beating you in this match.
Yeah.
Just pin me, and then off you go. But I guess they were building to try and tie that brotherhood thing in.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
they've helped him do it, and they've
Yeah.
got there together,
I
which
did
will be
like
all the
when,
more good when it all bursts and blows up.
when
Yeah.
they got the pin, which was by count. Well, it wasn't the pin; it was a count out win, wasn't
Yeah.
it? Because Rowan was under the table and he trapped him under the table, and that's how they got the win.
Yeah.
When all the roster came down and Kevin Owens was just banging on the mat like,
Yeah.
like he's a face now. He must be Kevin Owens.
He is face, yeah, he's like a people's person, isn't he? Though?
Yeah.
That's what that's his old new gimmick. So he'll be in a match at Mania.
I'm just thinking you're sat here and you've got a bit of a look at Kevin Owens in your new haircut.
I thought that when I'm having it done earlier, I look like a jock from jock haircut.
Why'd you do it?
I love Kevin Owens.
You
And
look
then I
like,
just imagine Kevin Owens' gimmick being you.
Did you ask for David
Just,
Beckham?
just being miserable. I just said someone cutting really short.
Did you say I want to like David Beckham?
Everyone says that when they go into their hair.
Do they?
Just make me look like
Don't
David
think
Beckham.
I've
Which,
like that.
which Beckham?
What year?
I'd go cornrows.
Mate, every good barber has a big book of David Beckham haircuts.
Do they?
Just go into it and just like...
I'd be like, I want Nelson Mandela meeting him like with his cornrows in. That's what I'd want.
I'd want the little like...
Imagine meeting Nelson Mandela and you've got cornrows in your hair
Yeah,
and you're a white person.
stupid.
Could you imagine that?
appropriation level 100.
Imagine that. Incredible. What a man. Mate,
Really.
David Beckham is the next WWE superstar. Ronda's done
Imagine.
it. Let's get footballers involved.
Let's get football.
Gronk will be there soon. Speaking of that, Gronk retired from NFL. obviously had that.
There is a
Mania
German
moment.
Tim Weiss who was a goalkeeper.
What's our English guy's goalkeeper called?
What do you mean?
The English goalkeeper that's the wrestler.
Yeah, I've seen him. He was at NXT. I think I've seen him. I've seen some big roided bloke who apparently played football.
They're putting a show in a football arena. In a football ground in England. He's a keeper who has now become a wrestler.
It was Grant Holt, but he wasn't a keeper, he was a striker. He played up front for Norwich. It's a Norwich promotion that he's working with.
That's what I'm thinking of. I don't know.
Isn't that where Page and that
yeah,
from?
Grant Holt.
From Norwich, yeah.
Yeah, Page is from
yeah, but they're putting an event on in the Norwich in the ground.
I think so, yeah.
He was on Soccer AM in the morning.
Yeah. There's a German guy a couple of years ago retired from football and just put loads of muscle on and got signed to WWE. He had
he put loads of muscle on really quickly. No one thought anything of it.
Who did that?
He had a match in...
Who would have thunk it?
He had like a dart match in a house show, I think.
Right.
And
he was shit.
He was like part of a tag team. He got the pin because it was like obviously he was in Germany, so he was going to have it.
But yeah, Gronk retired, didn't he, from NFL?
Yeah,
I think he'll be in WWE.
Well, he's been in the ring before, hasn't he? And
he's really, really broken.
But he could work a like. I mean, fucking Taker's been broken for the past 5 years.
They'll probably bring him in and he can feud with Mojo Rawley or something.
Well, there's
a guaranteed way to get hurt, I imagine.
They
probably hurt you really badly.
They reposted his Mania moment when that female security guard thought it was legit and like wouldn't let him in, and then it's like just totally shattered kayfabe because the referees are like, no, we'll let this one slide. No, we'll let this one slide. We'll let him into the ring.
They just cut the cameras away, didn't they? And they were like,
I like
he's alright.
He seems sweet.
I was laughing at it because I went to an NXT house show once. This guy tried to get in the ring, and these two security guards carried this man off. And I'm not lying to you. His body was facing downwards and his head was looking up at the sky like they'd twisted his neck that much. And I was like, it's like he just jumped the rail and that happened. And I was like watching the Gronk thing, and the referees was like, yeah, let's let him get in there on the biggest show of our year. Let's let him get in there and hit fucking Jinder Mahal as hard as he can.
I feel like today's the day.
Today's the day. Let him in. This slide. Like, it's just so funny.
There's lots of people here to see it.
Yeah. It's only good business. I hope he fucking trashes the main event of Mania. I hope Becky Lynch is about to get the cover and Gronk hops the guardrail, runs in and just pile drives her and just takes the pin.
Brilliant.
That'd be the dream.
There was another story came out about Shinsuke Nakamura who's just in quote marks checked out. He's just there to...
I'm glad you said Nakamura, so I want to know what you meant.
He's just there to earn his money.
It's just like a retirement village for him. You know, if you're working that New Japan schedule, getting your head booted in
why would you
every single night.
Go to Florida, live on the coast, get your surfboard out, wax it down every few days.
He's got his family with him, he lives in Florida, he likes to go surfing. That's all he's bothered about doing. He's like, I've got a good wage. I don't really care about if you're going to push me to a title run. It's not really...
Why would you care?
He was full Nakamura in that Sami Zayn match, and then after that, he was just... You could tell he was like, I'm beat up.
Yeah.
I'm getting the best pay I've ever had in my life. I'm just going to slowly start to dial it back until I'm at a point like where Randy Orton is. And to be fair, I'm like, that's really smart.
Imagine if you got a job that you love doing it, and you got a job, and they were like, yeah, we'll move you to the fucking coast of Spain, give you a nice house. You got to work a couple of days a week, maybe travel a little bit, but you can do what you love doing for a lot of money.
Yeah.
Why would you not just do it? Even if you're not going to get like the title runs and the main the glory shots and all that shit. He's had that for so long in New Japan.
He's had it in Japan that's the most legitimate you can get as a wrestler.
It means so much more in Japan because it's hard to get to that stage. It's hard to get to that level. In WWE, it literally means nothing. They've put title on people to promote fucking films. When The Rock came back and beat Punk to promote fucking Fast 18, whatever he was doing at that
Vince
point.
has had the belt. It's
like it means nothing, does it?
It's like they put the title on Jinder Mahal because they wanted to break into another
into the Indian market.
People don't go, he's got the WWE title, he's the best worker in the world. People go, he's got the WWE title, he's earning the most money in the world. And at the end of the day,
Shinsuke
he's like...
won them titles in Japan because he was the best fucking wrestler there was.
Daniel Bryan's never held the IWGP.
No.
Brock has, but Roman Reigns will never hold it.
Yeah.
because Hulk Hogan's the greatest of all time.
He is the best there ever was.
He's just everything. I watched a gif of him today with the Giants behind him.
Yeah,
he does this little gulp,
and
it's just he's got Macho Man corpse in front of him. He can't take it because it's so ridiculous. And I just think.
I saw a gif of Hulk chain wrestling in Japan.
Brilliant, isn't it? There's that little leg sweep.
Unbelievably good. I could not believe it. I love Hulk Hogan. Bring him back. Get him in the ring again.
Well, this is the thing. He might be back because
I want to see that leg drop one more time.
They've
shatter both his hips.
He's got a good segue here. Stop it.
I'm just saying I want to see Hulk Hogan shatter his hips.
The one smooth segue we get, and you destroy it.
I'm still talking about Hulk Hogan.
Well, it's probably is.
I love Shinsuke.
They've leaked out that Brutus is going to be the last inductee into the Hall of Fame.
Brutus
the Barber Beefcake.
Strutting and cutting. I've said it once, I said it again. For the right person this time.
So it's probably going to be Hulk Hogan's back to induct him because they're like best mates, aren't they? So
I mean, if it wasn't for Brutus, we wouldn't have Shawn Michaels putting Marty Jannetty through the barbershop window.
We wouldn't have it.
We wouldn't have had the greatest WrestleMania main events of all time.
Yeah.
We wouldn't have had any of that.
I feel like Hulk Hogan thinks he's best friends with everybody, though.
Nah.
He generally
Nasty Boy Brian Knobbs.
Yeah.
Brutus the Barber Beefcake.
They are generally the two that...
I know, they're genuinely his friends, but I feel like if you asked Hulk Hogan about ex-wrestler from his time period, he'd be like, yeah, I'm the best friend. We talk to him every day. Like, I just think...
Yeah, I mean, he says it about Warrior, and it's known that Warrior
literally despised him more than life itself.
I wish Hogan was my best friend. I'd steer him through. I'd teach him that everybody's...
Teach him the ways.
Everybody's sound.
Yeah.
You just behave yourself.
Behave yourself.
People can change. People can change, and he needs to change.
I think he has.
Only time will tell.
Only time will tell. It'd be interesting though. That's the way they bring him back, is to induct him.
Yeah, because it was mentioned a while back
going to be on a show at some point.
Well, it was mentioned that he's going to be part of WrestleMania.
Wait, he came back at the India show.
He came back in the.
Was it the?
No, it was at Crown Jewel. He came out.
Yeah, it was the.
Saudi Arabia one.
He came out and did a bit of a thing to the crowd.
I mean, I
forgot that existed.
They're not really going to care.
I don't think that was a case of like WWE got a plan for him. It was just. They know you are.
Tickets.
This is going to sell some tickets, or it's going to get people
Isn't it
excited.
mad that a man who's not wrestled in 13, 14 years, they're still like, he's still kind of the biggest draw in a lot of parts of the world. Like,
because if they're still like, if you're only like a lot of those places, because they used to do tours of like Kuwait and the Middle East all the time in the late 80s and 90s anyway. So they'll know about all him anyway.
Apple pie strap match.
Oh, that's where that came from. I forgot where that came from. He was like they'll be the name that they remember.
Yeah, they'll remember him,
like the biggest.
Him and Ultimate Warrior or something like that.
I remember having a bet with my mate at school because his favourite wrestler was Shawn Michaels, and I liked Hogan, and I'm like, Hogan's a bigger wrestler than Shawn Michaels. He's like, no, he's not. Michaels is way better. I'm like, we'll ask 15 people today if they know Hulk Hogan, and then we'll ask them if they know Shawn Michaels. And I won that bet hands down. Absolutely had his pants down.
Had his pants down.
I mean, when you hang out with mostly wrestling fans, it's slim pickings.
Yeah, true.
So
not many people to ask, have you?
No.
I think
good lad.
He's the biggest name of all time.
Him and Austin.
Yeah.
No, I'd say he's bigger than Austin.
I'd say so. I'd say he's bigger than Austin. Yeah.
He's the biggest.
Yeah. Actually, you're right.
The impact he had,
and it's like, and at that point,
the push that he gave, like that kind of like wrestling in that time as well.
I mean, the push. Yeah, I think he said to other people. Then I'm about to say definitely didn't push anybody.
I mean, he wrote the book on like burying.
Yeah, he did. But like you said, like as Vince McMahon, and I get that racism is awful, but as a businessman, when that dust has settled and he's still the biggest draw 40 years after his biggest push, you can't not bring him back to bring him the money. You can't not do it.
Well, it was always going to happen when they announced last year, like, right, we're going to put him back in the Hall of Fame. It's like, oh, here we go.
It was never going to not.
I think
some capacity.
The biggest thing about bringing him back is kind of like you need to break down that idea of like if someone's done something like racist or offensive or horrible, they deserve to be punished, but they have to be able to give them the chance to change.
Absolutely.
Because you can't just like go, you're a racist, you'll be a racist till the day you die.
Yeah,
that's it, you've been marked. Because that just keeps that cycle of like you can't change. Whereas people's minds need to be open. And he was in a dark place at the time. And like
I still don't think I understand the entire story around it.
I mean, it's hideous. He's having sex with his wife, Bubba the Love Sponge's his mate, Bubba the Love Sponge's wife, and it's just the entire thing around it is just this horrible tawdry affair, and none of it's good.
No,
none of it's good. His son's like in jail because he's killed someone in a car crash. His wife's left him for the pool boy, and he's like this pool boy's driving around in his Ferrari or something. It's like. It's about as low as you can get.
Yeah. To be honest, I never actually looked into the full story of what he said and why he said it. I just assumed that he'd done it.
It's quite a good documentary about it actually on Netflix. Yeah, it's called Nobody Speak. It's about how like the press and certain things kind of get in and go after people and how it exposes people. But that's what it's about. It's about
didn't he get like
trial
hundreds of millions of dollars?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So was he in the wrong then?
Oh, 100%, but they sort of trapped him. And
his daughter was dating a music producer who happened to be black,
right?
And he didn't like the guy. And while he was allegedly drunk and sleeping with his mate's wife and being recorded, but he didn't know it.
Yeah.
He said some awful, disparaging stuff about this bloke, but focused on the fact that he was black.
Right.
And it's horrible to watch, especially like I grew up with him. He was like my idol growing up, and I'm like, Jesus, God, why is that? But yeah, it's it's a sour patch.
But
we'll do an episode on it one time.
But with anything, you've got to let him have a second chance.
Yeah, and I mean, a lot of the stuff.
There's very few people that WWE don't give a second chance.
I'm trying to think of something that surely there's been somebody that they've brought back that did an absolutely diabolical thing.
Superfly.
There you go.
That's what I mean. They've only recently just taken him out again.
Yeah.
But that's because they didn't. They probably did, but it wasn't like public knowledge of what had happened.
Well, didn't Vince like try and defended him in court, even though he knew it had happened?
I mean, I think he's done that several times.
Probably has to be fair.
Jimmy Murderfly Snooker.
Murderfly.
Mate.
Brilliant. Is he dead now?
Oh yeah,
that's why it all came out, because he died, didn't he?
Yeah, he did die
a couple of years ago, and that's why it all came out, like what had happened.
I just like Hogan to just be like, I did something terrible. I don't want any more limelight. I don't want to be on stage anymore. I don't want to do anything for me.
Yeah, but he does.
I want to correct this. I know, and that's the part. Whenever he comes back, I think like, you could make this right
loves the spotlight
by not putting yourself at the centre of stuff.
He just wants to be over.
That's what he's doing though, and he did that when he come back for Crown Jewel. He was like, "Oh, it's so good to be welcomed back," and it's like, hang on a minute.
Yeah.
Just address.
It'd be nice if he just took them glasses off and just went, I've said and done some awful, terrible things, and I feel horrible. It's ruined my life, and I want to make sure other people don't do that.
Yeah.
And I want to really put every effort I can into making sure that happens. So you're not cheering for me, you're not cheering for Hulk Hogan, you're cheering for change. And I'm like, that's a promo right there.
Yeah, it is.
Just cut that promo. Yeah. Someone write that promo for that dothering old
The one
racist.
thing that I took from that entire thing was that he said Terry Bollea's penis was quite like small, and Hulk Hogan's penis was about 12 inches.
I mean, I've seen it on the video.
Like,
and
that's incredible. That's unbelievably good.
It's impressive for a man who's used a lot of steroids.
It's in the court case, that as well.
It's the fact that the fact that he doesn't even believe it. He knows it's not true because it's not physically possible. The fact that he can sit in court under oath and say that is just the best thing in the world.
Someone spent years in law school.
I think he deserves a title back. I think he deserves a title back just for that comment. I think it's one of the funniest things I've ever heard in my entire life.
I mean, I'm always game for a Hogan title run. I'd love it if he just cashed in and won the Undisputed Women's Championship.
Imagine.
The main event, like Bret Hart. He just looks at the crowd,
he's
spinning everywhere, looking at the crowd, like he's amazed and shocked about what's going to happen.
I'd love for him to like hit the leg and then get in the cover, and the referee just like shrug his shoulders and count the 3 and just wins the title.
Philly comes out and just points to the thing.
Like just to get back at Becky Lynch, just like points at it, is like, well, you're here now, mate. You might as well go for it.
You're here.
I didn't sign up to this job for the like social side of it.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean?
Speaking of like old guys, I was looking back at some old WrestleManias, and there was that match where they brought the Legends back against Jericho.
Oh yeah.
Why don't they do that anymore?
Ricky Steamboat was amazing in that.
Why don't they do that anymore? WrestleMania is like,
who are the Legends now? They'll be like Rob Van Dam and stuff, wouldn't they? At this point.
At this point, yeah.
Ruthless Aggression era. Jericho probably one of the Legends.
Yeah, he is.
But they never that was a surprise thing that they did. Like they never do that. They never do that anymore. Mania should be full of surprises.
Yeah, want it to be.
There's probably going to be some surprises.
But again, like
I would pop so hard if Jericho. He does the AEW. He's doing this before the AEW show, isn't he? But he just goes, you know what? I'll do what I want. He just appears, does it, screams AEW, and then off he goes.
But like, you say there probably will be some surprises, Rob. But in a 17-match card, where do they fit it in?
Well, that's the other thing.
Where do they fit it in?
I mean, the Kurt Angle match is probably going to have John Cena come out after he pins Baron Corbin in like a minute. Baron Corbin's not going to retire Kurt Angle. I think Kurt Angle will get the dirty on him really quick, and then Baron Corbin will be gutted. We'll hear John Cena's music come on. He'll come out and be like, "That wasn't a test. If you're going to go out, you're going out in style."
I think that'll either happen or we'll find out on Monday at the go on.
I think they'll change the match.
It's 100% it's going to be changed.
Angle can't wrestle 100%. Anyway.
He can't wrestle.
It's just horrible to watch.
He can't wrestle. It sucks.
Like he's made of wood.
It sucks because in his like indie run, his last indie run before he retired the first time, then came back to WWE,
when he was
genuinely amazing. Like he faced Sabre, he faced so many guys, and they were all unreal matches.
I think being out of the ring that long,
but it wasn't even that long though. It wasn't that long between the indie run and the WWE run coming back. It wasn't that long, and it just seems to have like lost all passion for it.
It's the style that's choked in it. That's what it is.
It is, and
they don't want him to have that type of match. They don't.
I don't know. I think even in this short space of time, I think his body has deteriorated to the point where he can't even try to do the angle slam on Randy Orton. His leg just slipped out from underneath him, and like
quite sad.
He can't really suplex anymore.
Do you know, when he came out with the Shield and did that like goofy smile behind him, like, it was one of the best moments of all time. But when he got in the ring, I was so excited for him to start wrestling. And I think he hits like a Samoan drop on somebody and just like crumpled to the floor, and I was like, oh,
it's like watching Taker. You keep thinking like, oh, this time he'll come out and maybe he's done some special magic drugs that have made him like better. Yeah. And then you're just like, oh no, wait, he's really old.
Yeah. I don't know. That's one of the other rumours. It might be Taker might be coming out and having this match because he doesn't need any build from him. Like the John Cena one didn't need.
It makes sense with Cena because obviously that was Cena's first match, wasn't it, against Angle, and I get that. But
I wouldn't be surprised if they do it and it's Jason Jordan and it's like your son's retired you or your kayfabe son's retired you.
Have they forgot that he's his son? I feel like they haven't mentioned that in a long time.
He's just not. He's been out for it.
Is he injured?
He had neck surgery. Yeah.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, like what Ciampa's had, I think.
I mean, if you think back, like,
but he's back in. I think we mentioned it a few weeks ago because he was on when Roman Reigns came out and did his speech about how his leukemia's come back. They showed you some video backstage, and Jason Jordan was there in the background.
He's a backstage role,
backstage.
Okay, I wouldn't mind that.
But
if it's got a storyline to it, then I'm all for it.
At least there's something that I was going to say believable, but that's not the right word. But at least there's something behind it. It's not just
as long as there's a motivation to why it's happening. Then
I mean. As bizarre as it sounds, it's like no one wants to really see him take on Baron Corbin. At least Baron Corbin took his general manager's job.
Yeah. But they haven't played on that though, have they?
No.
They've not even played it. Did they announce it on air? Or did they just...
The problem you've got with Angle is his greatest rivals are either dead, like Benoit and Eddie, Brock, which is just on a different level, or it's like... I mean, Cena is... I wouldn't even really class him as one of his greatest rivals.
He's not, but I think they can draw back to that first match.
They can draw back to the first match, so that's a kind of a tie. But like... Other than that, it's Joe and AJ, but they won't acknowledge the TNA side of things.
They need to put somebody in that match that needs the rub.
Sting! Bring Sting back to retire him! Sting!
Well, Sting said he'll come back, but he's only coming back to face Taker.
But there's no rub. There's no rub involved in any of them matches. Cena doesn't need the rub, he's the best in the world. Sting doesn't need the rub, he's old, he can't work anymore. AJ, Samoa Joe are both incredibly in a good position, they don't need a rub. Jason Jordan needs a rub.
Yeah.
But then again, I think if they give it him, they're not going to do anything with him because they just don't like him.
No, I think that's the thing.
They need to put somebody in there. The crowd weren't
behind him. The crowd weren't behind Jason Jordan.
Because if John Cena wins that match, almost 9 out of 10 people will be like, well, yeah, it's John Cena, of course he's going to beat Kurt Angle.
But and the other thing is, he's probably going to retire at next year's WrestleMania.
Cena?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because he's in his 40s.
I still need one more Cena run. He's got one more title run to beat Flair.
He has a busier schedule like The Rock does.
I need one more title to beat Flair.
He's not the person to retire Kurt Angle because he's got no longevity in the
He's disappointed me. He's disappointed me a lot.
No, he can never disappoint me ever. He's the best in the world. Best there ever was, best there ever will be.
I like that.
Literally, John Cena is the greatest wrestler of all time.
Moving on to that, someone else who said that John Cena is the best in the universe is Alberto Del Rio.
Good lad. See, I like Alberto Del Rio. I've always thought that. He's a good lad.
He said
good moral views.
It's a good way in, isn't it?
Good moral views on life. Alberto
Strong
Del Patron,
yeah.
whatever his
I
name
think
is.
he's done it to try and get some favour back with WWE and open the
Probably.
door for something
I actually don't think that. I think he genuinely really likes Cena.
Does it?
Cena put him over, didn't he, for the title at Hell in a Cell when Cena had to go away for a little while.
And I reckon the US title.
Yeah, I reckon Cena chose him as the opponent to do that. I think he genuinely does like Cena.
Yeah.
You got to remember, Cena was involved in obviously the Money in the Bank match with Punk, and that was Del Rio that came out and like cashed in and all that kind of stuff, and they had a bit of like a run together.
I quite liked Del Rio until all his personal life stuff came out, and I just think you're just a sleazy bastard.
Yeah, but I think he's always going to probably be saying that because he's hoping that maybe WWE will be like, oh, he's alright, him.
Yeah.
But I think he genuinely was saying that.
Well, Vince likes him, apparently. Vince has always liked him.
Vince's been big on Del Rio.
I think
always has been.
He's the kind of guy who will end up getting killed in some kind of like Colombian drug-related thing. Like he's invested in some boxing company that's run by some cartel
members,
and then he borrows money from it, and then ends up getting his hand chopped off. And
but like you were saying, Rob, they've got Almas now, haven't they? Who fills that market?
Who's a million times better.
He's also a much better wrestler than Del Rio is.
He's better in every single level.
But he fills that Mexican market.
He needs to get pushed soon, Andrade, because he's just so.
I've said it before, I'll say it again. I want him and Shinsuke to have a series where the two of them work over the Intercontinental title. Just they say to them, like, look, lads, this IC title, it's not doing anything. You two work your magic. I know you can't be arsed anymore, but tune it in, have a good couple of matches with him, and then that's it. We'll give you a big packet for it. Sound.
You've got a boss. Even if Shinsuke's checked out, you'd be like, listen, I'm still your fucking boss. Work some good matches, otherwise you're gone.
Yeah.
And he's going to get that motivation to keep moving and to keep in America and keep living in his house that he wants to be in. Like,
if you're going to unify belts, you need to make them all matter.
If you've got to pull that card and be like, listen, you're not really pulling your weight, fucking work good and work hard, otherwise we don't need you anymore, then it's going to give him that reason to fucking go for it. I'll must work a fucking broom handle and look mint anyway.
He will get a title run. He will be
he's not young,
is he?
A bit young? Is he young or is he old?
He's probably in his 30s.
I wish the guys,
young in their eyes, isn't it?
The guys looking at the company would contextualise people's relationships within where they've been. And like the minute Andrade landed in NXT, you knew, because Shinsuke was NXT champion at the time, and you knew these two, eventually their paths would collide and it would be mint, because when they were feuding in New Japan, it was like these two are the best, two best wrestlers on the planet, bar none.
It was really good.
And like, they've never, I don't think they've ever touched.
I don't
think they've ever been.
Not that I remember.
I mean, there might have been in some throwaway tag match that I'm not remembering, but
not that I remember.
The only worry is they just turn it into what they did with AJ and Shinsuke, where it's like they build it up as they build this like dream match, which they acknowledge it. They said, "Oh, it's a dream match. It's what people want to see." They had a big issue in Japan, and then it was just awful.
Yeah, the trouble it wasn't awful. I think looking at that Mania match was good if you don't know the history of them two guys.
Yeah,
if you're a casual fan that's never watched New Japan, that match would probably, for a casual fan, be an amazing match. But for us that have seen them work like 5-star matches in New Japan, like 40 minutes long, you're gonna go in. You're always gonna think, "Oh, this is shit."
AJ's had that since he started, though, because he's faced so many people on the indie scene that every time he faces someone like Daniel Bryan, people go, "It's gonna be amazing," and it's like always good to great, but it doesn't push it over to amazing. Whereas when he faces someone like his first WrestleMania against, was it Shane?
Yeah.
Shane McMahon? And it was really good, and you're just like, that's because...
No, it was Jericho.
It was Jericho, wasn't it? And it was really good.
Really good match.
Because you're like, you're not knowing how they're going to gel.
Never seen it before.
Whereas when you see them...
I've got an old PWG DVD, like early 2000, like mid 2000s, and it's Brian Danielson. Brian Daniels. Fuck me. Brian Danielson. Against
Brian for Daniels.
Brian Danielson against AJ Styles, and it's in PWG. I think it's in the old warehouse he used to run. There's maybe 15 people there.
Wow.
And it's one of the best matches I've ever seen in my entire life. And then you see him lock up on like SmackDown, and it's good. But I've always in the back of my mind thinking, it's not as good as 2008, or is it? It's not as good as 2006, or is it? Like, you've got that in the back of your mind. And
when you're watching it at Mania, you're looking at Styles and Nakamura and going, it's not the Tokyo Dome. It doesn't feel like a real sport. No. The commentary's dog shit.
Yeah.
The fans are just walking around, like, buying merch and drinking big Slurpees with the WrestleMania logo on it. Like, they're not invested. Why should I be invested? The atmosphere is terrible, and you're just like,
there's no reason
it's going to fall flat.
But I was saying to Rob last week when we recorded, like, I get it from the Mania point, like from the live point of view, I get it, because it's just must be so knackering to be there for 7 hours.
Yeah,
probably like 10 hours, like considering you got to queue up and get in and sit down. Probably 10 hours max, 10 hours plus that you're in that fucking venue. I don't envy him at all.
And like the adrenaline spikes, and like you're coming into the arena, you're excited, and then you sit down and you drop,
fucking, like,
and then
the
first match comes on and you're buzzing, and then you drop, and it's up and down, and like by the end of
it, get it,
you feel like you want to spew. You're tired, you want to go back to your hotel room.
No, I'd have had about fucking 12 pints, and I'd be on my arse that like fucking main event comes round.
But there were some people who don't even make it halfway through.
Probably not.
No,
really wouldn't surprise me. I think like when you see him ringside on the first like 15, 16 rows, you're going to be there for the long haul. But then you've got to remember that the arena's massive, and there's some people that have paid like $30 for a nosebleed seat that's at the very, very top of that arena.
I'll be honest.
If you get halfway through that show and you're a local, you'd be like, I'm just a fucking...
If I had a booked seat, I'd watch the first half of it from my hotel room and then go, right, cool, get up and go in. Yeah. But they probably wouldn't let you in the arena.
No, at that point.
Scum. Subhuman scum.
Subhuman scum. No, they probably would, but I said, like, if you're a local to New York, for example, where it is this year, and you live an hour away... I'm sitting here. And you've bought a $30 seat in the very, very top of that arena, and you get there and you're excited, and then it gets halfway through and you think, I could go home and watch this, carry on, and then fucking network.
There's a rate back in that hotel room.
I've paid $30, I live half an hour away, I'm just going to go home and carry on watching it at home.
But the thing is, like you said last week, a lot of it is people will come over from Europe and make a weekend of it, and they'll go to like the NXT show.
I've got an idea. What we should do, we should rent one of them, like, what do you call it? What's that app where you can rent people's like apartments and shit? Airbnb. We'll rent a proper plush Airbnb. Pretend we're away, and we'll just put it on. We'll just chill out. It'd be great. We could get smashed.
Yeah,
we should do that.
Yeah,
and then we could get people like, get the sweaty marks and be like, we'll charge you £15 and you can come with us.
I'd rather go.
Be right good.
I'd rather just go,
mate. you can do that.
No, I think we should all go.
I can't.
I think it depends where.
I
it
think
is.
we should go.
When it's somewhere like New York,
if I could do it for the day,
I'd be genuinely worried there's going to be a snowstorm in New York.
Yeah,
the weather does get cold.
If it comes to Miami,
and
I'm not talking Tampa,
not in New York, it's freezing.
because I'm not going to fucking Tampa. If it comes to Miami,
we'll go.
I'll go. Not fucking Tampa.
We can get a weekend away.
Fuck Tampa.
No, regardless of that,
I want one in LA. That'd be cool.
We can get a weekend.
Coliseum or
Miami.
something.
We can get a weekend away.
I want to watch football. Well, it wouldn't be on at the
Oh,
same
fuck
time.
the Dolphins! I'm not watching.
I want to go watch them practice.
Right, I want one in Pittsburgh. Then I want to watch the fucking Steelers.
Why do you want to go Pittsburgh? What's
Because the
there?
Steelers are the greatest team of all time.
Mate, there's no out there.
So
It's a fucking pit town.
Mania's there.
It's a pit town.
Brilliant. Sheffield's a pit town, mate. It's best town in the world.
Mate, I'm in prison here.
Speaking of
Once
that,
again,
though,
she doesn't listen to this show.
speaking of travelling, we're going to go see an OTT show soon.
Yeah, we want to try and get over.
And speaking of OTT,
they've just released Scrapomania's now on their video on demand. This was the one where it had Walter versus Devlin for the.
I've not watched it yet. I'm going to watch it.
title.
I'm going to watch it tomorrow.
I've seen little bits of it.
Didn't you do a podcast
It does
on
look
it?
pretty good.
What?
Haven't you already done a podcast on it?
We spoke about the
We spoke
result,
about the result.
and kind of what it
But
meant.
it wasn't
and
on.
stuff,
It wasn't on demand yet. So
Right,
we couldn't
So
watch
we
it.
couldn't
Right.
watch
Fuck
it.
off, Tom.
We just
We know
watched
I'm
what
just
we're talking
asking.
about.
I'm asking. It's
Right,
a question.
well, carry
I
on.
didn't know the answer, and I've asked.
We just
question.
watched all we saw of it
Unbelievable.
was the reaction that someone filmed from the crowd of
The Balboa League.
Devlin doing
Find
his,
it on
I
iTunes,
did have a little jump
Spotify.
doing his
Has
jump.
anybody asked him if that was intentional yet?
Oh, it must have been. It's
It was.
identical.
It can't not.
identical.
It can't not be intentional.
It can't
But-
be.
Has anyone asked him?
Ask. Why don't you ask him? Tweet
don't
him.
know.
Tweet him.
I don't use Twitter.
So just tweet him.
I might at him on Instagram. Ask him.
Or do that. Yeah.
Just like, did you or did you not copy the iconic
Well, I know that
post from
he
Rocky
vanity searches his own name on Twitter,
Good lad.
so you don't even actually
Don't
have to,
we
you
all?
don't have to at him. You can just type. If he searches his own name by just typing in Jordan Devlin.
Just a big picture that is a question marked to Jordan Devlin. I'll just write out on a piece of paper.
Yeah.
Dear Jordan, while you're looking for this, you narcissistic
He does.
bastard.
People do it. People tweets saying not at him, but type like Jordan Devlin in the tweet somewhere, and then write like an awful comment about how they hate him, and then he can't not see it because he just loves searching his own name to find
Those
the
do
results.
that. Ricky Gervais does that all the time.
He's a good lad. He's all right.
I
Jordan
hate
Devlin.
Richie.
But speaking of
I think
OTT,
they-
they have,
Richie Gervais. Rich T. DeVace.
they've put their show on their video on demand, but they've just released or launched a GoFundMe to get they want to get a documentary film, basically.
And it already made the goal.
I don't know. Let's have a look, because if it does, we can cut this out.
Journalism.
Yes, they've done it by
Smashed it.
€10.
€10. €10. We can still talk about it though.
Yeah, it's still a worthy cause. It's still
Go
like
and, yeah,
worth
I mean,
doing,
the
'cause-
more money they get, the better it's going to be. So do go and donate if you
Yeah.
want to see that, because it'd be. I mean, the past two promos that I've seen from OTT are probably the best that I've ever seen.
Oh, they're incredible. Their production's
Yeah.
incredible.
Unbelievable. So the guys
It's
that are
amazing.
making that, I think, are going to be the same guys that make the documentary. So there's no reason why it wouldn't be an unreal documentary.
Yeah. It's their production's up there with everything. It's almost like Riptides as well. It's like the cinematography.
I think Riptides are higher than OTT are, but OTT is still
Yeah,
very good.
It's still great.
But again, like, if you have on demand, if you've got a spare, I don't know how much it is to get OTTs on demand, but if you've got a spare
not a lot.
tenner for a month, just buy it and I mean, even if you can't, go and watch their
It's
YouTube
$9
matches.
for their
$9. Go watch the free ones on YouTube first of like Walter versus what do you call it? Walter versus Osprey is the word I'm looking for. Go watch that match. It's free, and it's not even the production's all right. It's not anything groundbreaking, but the atmosphere in the venues that they run, like they just create such a fucking event for it.
I like how the
And I bet that
crowd
Walter
around the ring are
yeah,
banging
I
on
bet
the
that
ring
Walter
and stuff.
Devlin
Yeah,
matches.
yeah.
That's why I love Progress so much, because it's
Like,
so
look
close
at
to
the
the ring.
talent that they've had.
Yeah.
There. It's been massive. They've had like
There's some
like
huge
Hurricane
names over
Helms has done
time.
stuff
Yeah,
there.
loads of names.
It's kind of like
It's
their...
a wicked atmosphere to be in. It must be. And we're gonna have to go. We'll have to go to a venue, a match.
Yeah, definitely. Because I mean, a lot of the time we do go to Progress, and it's like from what we've seen, it kind of does look like they're kind of more toward the earlier days of Progress when there was such hype around it and everyone was so built into it. And I mean, not that Progress has gone downhill, but it just doesn't feel
as big as
quite
it used to be
the
anymore.
same as it used to since the
we
WWE
could. I mean,
merger.
we spend one full day of like going early and getting home late to a Progress show. We could do the exact same thing of flying over to Dublin in the same amount of time. I think we don't know why we're doing a disservice to ourselves and not.
I mean, it's
seeing their shows.
£50.
If that. Return flight's like 50
It's 50 quid. That's what puts me off.
That's what puts me
Sat
off.
Labarge's £49 on a flight. Yeah, I think
Sunday,
that's what
bloody
puts me off.
Sunday. Well, actually, Alan, one of them were killed.
You've ruined it for me now.
One more thing we said we were going to mention as well, the 7th of April, which is WrestleMania Day.
Yes.
But more importantly,
we are doing...
Fuck WrestleMania.
A live podcast with some other podcasts from Sheffield for Breed. So they're putting an event on called Because Words Matter, where there'll be 5 podcasts, I think, and we're all doing 20 minutes.
Hold on.
Go on.
I'll read them out to you. Keep talking. What, have you got them up in front of you?
Yeah, I've got them in front
read
of
them
me.
out then, you unprofessional
So there's
prick.
us, there's Graps and Claps, there's Tables, Others and Chairs, there's Royal Grumble and Grandest Stage.
Exactly.
Podcast.
So now we'll know if they've listened to us or not because we're giving them a shout out. And if they haven't, we're going to go hard.
So you better listen.
But it's all different themes. Like everyone, we're going to do a little bit about what we want from the next sort of 6 to 12 months, I think, from WWE and stuff.
Are we going to do a draft?
That kind of stuff.
We're going to do a mock
We
draft.
Let's do a draft.
I best start thinking.
How about we do
it.
me versus Ethan and you can moderate it?
That's all right.
That works for me.
That works for
I
me.
might end up beating the shit out of you on stage, just so you're aware. I might.
I just want to make sure that people remember our set.
I might ask Breed to buy a breakaway table. And I
In
might
fact,
put you through it at the end.
You
of
just
it.
score this bar.
Let's see if we
Score
can
it
get in the
through.
Sheffield Star
Yeah.
man glass
Man glassed
at
in
Virgin
Woodies.
Podcast event.
Where is it?
It's at a place called Woodies on West Street. It's £2 for a ticket. There's 50 tickets. I know there's been at least one bought because I saw someone say I've bought a ticket.
Well, that's all right, isn't it?
That's
at least
fine.
one person will be
One
there.
guy. I've
One
played
guy.
gigs for fewer people.
Yeah.
So if
we
if-
only need to get 20 and we'll probably double our listenership. So.
Yeah, if you're in Sheffield and you're not doing it on a Sunday afternoon and it's going to cost you £2
And you're not
you like
directly blood
wrestling,
related to me
you-
or know
yeah,
me.
and you don't know me or like have anything to do with me, then absolutely come along and get involved because it'll be a good laugh.
It's
It'll
going to be a
fun.
good laugh. It's going to be a big day because straight after that they're having a show at the Walkabout where
It's
they're
wrestling,
having
isn't it?
matches
Yeah,
on.
yeah.
They're having some matches on in the Walkabout, and then they're going to have WrestleMania on the massive screen. That
I mean,
they've got in
it's
the
going to be
Walkabout
so
as well.
long and stressful. It'll be like being
like
at
that being
WrestleMania.
WrestleMania.
It'll give you the experience of being there, but it'll only cost you £2 to get in.
But it should be
Magic.
good. We'll put the link to the ticket site in the show notes of the podcast. So.
Yeah. Come and get involved, please. Don't.
There
lose
may
out
be
on
merch.
There
No
may-
guarantees.
No
There
guarantees.
probably won't. We've probably some Sharpies and some white t-shirts.
That's all-
we've,
that's good enough.
All right,
That's merch for me,
Ethan will
mate.
be selling them on the street side in a referee shirt
I can
afterwards.
make you some
He'll
money
be
if
selling
you-
snide shirts
I'll
outside his own podcast.
I'll pull a Hebner and I'll get Delroy to make a few shirts up. Delroy will know somebody that can print some shirts.
He will
I'll get.
love that.
We'll get that
Actually,
sorted.
Delroy might have a shirt printing person. So
It doesn't surprise me.
For anybody who doesn't know Ethan, Delroy is his dad.
if you need, if you send me the design over,
And
I
if
might
anyone
be
wants
able to.
any North Face jackets,
my dad made quite a few. Didn't make them himself, but he got quite a few Boxing Day Massacre, Sheffield United, Sheffield Wednesday cups made.
Man.
And they were awful, but he sold a hell of a lot of them to all his football mates.
I once got a text
I
off
think you
Ethan
wanted one.
randomly that just said, "Does anybody want any fireworks?" Because my dad's got some.
fireworks, and knock off Yankee candles.
They weren't knockoff. They were legit. That was my uncle. That was my dad that's selling Yankee candles. That was my uncle.
The whole
Brilliant.
family, that it.
Brilliant.
Listen, if you need help, get involved. It's
Yeah.
just where it all comes from is a mystery. It's like
And if you're a police officer that happens to be listening to this podcast, I'd reassess your
Turn
career
it off.
because if you're into wrestling, that's a concern for public safety.
Absolutely.
That's it from us, really. You can find us on
Sit more on.
Staring at the Lights. You can on Instagram at The Lights Pod, on Twitter. We do write for RGM.press. We've just launched their new website as well.
Have they?
Yeah, it looks quite nice. Very swanky.
Cool.
He really hates NME, doesn't he?
Yeah, Carl hates me. Well, Enemy's shit though, isn't it? Everyone hates Enemy. It's rubbish.
What's an ME done?
It's just crap.
Now in years,
It's like Heat
that's the
magazine,
point.
isn't it? That's the
Don't
problem.
Top Man own it and sell it, like give it away for free?
Pretty much.
Brilliant.
It's free now, isn't it? And they don't even do it anymore. It's only online
I
now.
don't think I've ever seen an ME article.
I bet you any money
You're not missing out.
if they came knocking though.
Oh yeah, we'll do it. If you want someone to write about
So if
wrestling,
you're listening
we'll
from
do it.
NME,
NME we will actually really like you. I don't know what they. I like you. I don't know what these two are saying. If you want somebody to write about wrestling for you, then I gladly would do that for you.
We are available to write if you were like mercenaries.
Yeah, no, genuinely, like anybody that's listening that has a fucking website, we will write for you for almost next to almost nothing. We will write for you.
Oh dear. Right, that's it.
See
All
you
right,
later
nice
now.
one. Take care. See you
Bye.
soon. See you on the 7th.
7th of April.
See ya.